likely to cause a quarrel than a badly ordered queue? So my question is, what's the best way to board a plane? The people are in the lounge and you want to board them onto the plane. What's the most efficient way of doing that?
Minimise hand baggage, all those wankers who can't be bothered to check their bags and come on like mules, like pack mules, fill up all the overhead lockers with their very important shit. And sit down farting all the way to Malaga. Sorry, what was the question?
There's lots of bitterness in this, isn't there?
I had a moment on a flight last week, actually, when I was flying from Aberdeen to Shetland, and I was with my tour manager, who's also a big chap, and we sit next to each other because we're pals, and there was hardly anyone else on the flight. It was only a small plane. And the stewardess came over, and she said, Mr Manford, Mr Isaac, she said, would you mind separated and sitting on either side of the plane?
Oh, no. Weight distribution.
Weight distribution?
You're as heavy as a wing.
What, so he's going to land like this if it's...
Well, that's what you should have done. We will at the start.
Yeah.
But during the flight, we're going to set you a series of challenges. Zigzagging about the plane.
First time in the history of the world where turbulence is a person.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to think of you now, as turbulent.
That's me.
By the back row, then the next row, then the next row.
That is the most
like
common...
that.
Yeah, that is the most common way of doing it. It is also the least efficient.
Or in the middle and then fan it out towards the back and the front.
Take the top off the plane and have them all swarming over the top like that.
So there's an astrophysicist called Dr. Jason Steffen. He made a computer model and then he teamed up with a TV producer to get people to act out boarding planes in various different arrangements. So he compared boarding from the front, from the back, at random, and what he called Wilma boarding, which is window, middle, and then aisle. Nice. Block boarding, by far the slowest. That's the way the airlines currently do it. So they say this group of seats and then the next group of seats. The absolute best way to do it is board first the even-numbered window seats, followed by the odd-numbered window seats, then repeat with the middle seats, and then repeat with the aisle seats. It's rather complicated. And so he actually recommends just board at random. That would still be much faster than what we currently do.
You don't want too random, do you? You don't want to be on, like, 16 rows back and the pilot's there.
I was boarding recently, and this lady announced, we are boarding everyone not in Zone F. And then she said, and also not in Zone A, B, C, D, E. Then she paused and said, we're just not boarding.
I think there's two types of passengers. They're the ones who think that if anything happened to the pilot, they could probably be all right if they took over and got talked in.
Yeah, that's me.
And there's the other ones who would think there's no way they could do that.
I sort of fancy myself being able to fly a plane. You're right. I think I could bloody give it a go.
But don't you think that when you've watched a load of ER, for example, that you think, I
yeah.
totally could do that heart surgery?
I sort of feel like I'd be naturally good in emergencies. Like, I can't speak Spanish now, but I feel like if there was an emergency, I probably could give it a go.
Yeah. What kind of emergency suddenly requires Spanish?
I feel like the
Yeah.
Spanish girl, Sandi. She's come in, she's choking. No one else in the hospital speaks Spanish.
Right.
Something's wrong with her.
Yeah.
She can mime, but we're not getting it.
No.
They haven't trained like me in the dramatic art of mime.
Of course.
And so she's like, Madrid, Venezuela. And I'm like, don't worry. Penicillin. Penicillin. And then it'll just be like that for...
That poor child is dying and you're the last thing she sees. Thank you for watching. Do remember to subscribe to the QI channel and click here to watch more videos. Well, please, come on, pick something.